Duke has been a huge part of my life, and I don't I don't even know where to start. When my uncle had a family gathering over, and we were looking at his new PC, and it was the brand new game Duke Nukem. So when I first saw that logo boost up, like my mind's like, holy fucking shit. Watching this like action hero muscular man going, "Dad, those aliens bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride." Kind of like that parody sound of masculinity. The whole game was amazing and funny and charismatic, and I'm like, this is just even thinking about that memory is like giving me goosebumps all over again. Like, it's so cool. I think it was like a year later or so, I went over to my friend's birthday party, and his mom offered us to pick out a few video games. I picked out Duke Nukem 64, and I was so fucking excited. I'm like, dude, we have to play this game. And we were so excited at the fact that it had 4-player multiplayer, so we can all have like a Duke match. And I'm like, yes. It was probably one of the best moments, because then we really were introduced to like the whole encapsule of Duke Nukem. It was great. It was fucking great. We played that fucker all night long, and then we rented it again the following weekend.
Looks like it's time to kill.
I kept on reading more magazines of like the next Duke Nukem game, when's it gonna come out, and we heard about Duke Nukem Time to Kill. And at that point in my life, I didn't have a PlayStation, nor did I have money to have a PlayStation. It was just, it's not in the cards sometimes. So I found out that PlayStations were breaking constantly. So I would scatter up a lot of broken parts. I would trade Pokemon cards for broken PlayStations. And I found out eventually I could make my own PlayStation. Me and my friends, we bought Duke Nukem Time to Kill. And it wasn't as great. It felt very stiff. I guess back in that time I really liked first person view, because I feel like I was more part of the action inside that perspective, and I'm like, okay, I'm this person. I get to embody that. I want to talk like Duke Nukem. It was fun. I had fun with it. Not as much fun as I was expecting to have with Duke Nukem 3D, but it was still fun. And later on, we were reading a video game magazine. I don't remember which one it was. And I've looked through my whole collection to find this article. That was the point where I was starting to get into film. Duke Nukem was a parody from a certain amount of other movies. And I'm like, what? So like, in my little kid mind, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this? And they listed off They Live, and they listed off Army of Darkness. And I'm like, what the fuck is Army of Darkness? And showing off all the quotes. Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king, baby.
I need to watch these movies, because this is essentially Duke Nukem movies.
Groovy.
And I went to Kmart down the street, and we found a copy of Army of Darkness. And looking at the cover, and I'm like, dude, that's the Duke Nukem cover. That's the fucking Duke Nukem. I'm like, we're just freaking the fuck out. Like, this could be like the Duke Nukem movie, like, that we never even heard about. Like, I want to see the inspiration where this man came from. It was a downhill spiral from there of like obsessing over movies and cinema. They Live. I had to find a copy of that was even harder to find at, being at my age, because we didn't have that stuff in my house. And then I got into John Carpenter's The Thing at the library, and it just escalated to my fascination with film and practical effects. And it kept on going with my love of everything, all because of Duke Nukem. So one day I was at a Walmart, and I got some Christmas money, and in the clearance bin I saw Duke Nukem 3D boxed. I can't tell you how thrilled I was. I had the raised printing on it, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like reading the back of the box, like, can it work? And the minimum recommendations, like, yes, it can work. And then my little piece of shit PC, I'm like, I'm so fucking excited. Taking it home, opening up the case, I see the cast that made Duke Nukem 3D, and of course the little Duke Nukem character on the bottom. I was so envious. I'm like, how can you be part of something so cool. Like, did you know that you're going to be making something so fucking awesome, like, to my life? And seeing on the other disc, like, also contains demos and Duke Nukem 1 and 2. And I'm like, holy shit. Playing the first Duke Nukem, I loved it. I really did. Because, like, growing up on old DOS games back in the day, it reminded me a lot of Commander Keen. Right after that, I really want to try Duke Nukem 2 and see what that is. And the open cinematic of that, him shooting a fucking smiley face. He's like, I'm back. I fell in love with Duke Nukem 2. That little monster hand come out of the cell, and you can shoot the hand off. I'm like, holy fuck, that's awesome. So as time went on, so for my birthday, I got Duke Nukem 0 Hour. I've been looking forward to this for such a long time, and I can't tell you how excited I was. I immediately called up my friends, and I'm like, dude, I fucking got it, I fucking got it, I fucking got it, I fucking got it. So exciting. Again, it wasn't a first-person perspective. That kind of bummed me out. But I was really excited to even just have another Duke Nukem game. And like when he booted up and he has that moment where he flips that shotgun and blows off the thing behind it, I'm like, oh, it's so good, because it took me right back to Army of Darkness, and I'm like, God, yes, yes. I eventually, over time, found a copy of Duke Nukem on PlayStation 1. It's so fucking weird. I was used to playing Duke Nukem with a keyboard. Strafing with shoulder pads was kind of weird. I liked it a lot more on Duke Nukem 64. That felt a little bit better. And then came Duke Nukem Land of the Babes. And it wasn't until like my birthday just recently I finally said, fuck it, it's my birthday. I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna buy it. It's okay. I'm happy to have it. But it goes back into that whole PlayStation stiff controlling where like I feel like I'm trying to take a crap but holding it in my butt cheeks. Looking into the Game Boy Color version, which I got for Christmas, it looked very similar to Duke Nukem 2. I get to take Duke Nukem 2 wherever I wanted to go. A little bit after that, I got a Game Boy Advance, and then they released Duke Nukem Advance. And of course I had to have that shit as well. It looked like I was shooting lasagna pellets at pigs. It was kind of strange. I wasn't very impressed with some of the visuals, but I was still impressed with the fact that I could still play a 3D game on the go. I can gush all day about Duke Nukem and how much it means the world to me. And I remember somewhere around that time, KB Toy Store, it's kind of like a Toys R Us. It was closing down in the mall, and then I found in the bottom stacks, I like to dig through all that shit, some Duke Nukem toys. And I'm like, this is great. Opening out of the package too right away. One of the legs broke off. Oh my God. And I tried to put his Uzi in his hand, and that fucking broke off. And I'm like, oh my God. I hot glued everything. That was the only glue I had in the house that I knew that would sort of work. I liked the packaging so much, I kept all my toys in the packaging when I was done playing with them. I was a weird fucking kid, and like somewhere around the age of like 8 or 10, I don't remember, I started keeping the advertisements and boxes with my toys and video games, because I adored the art that came with it, because like that art to me was the thing that sold me. And when I usually opened up the toy or game and like, oh, it doesn't feel as special anymore. I had that same concept like when you get by a VHS tape. Do you throw away the box when you're done? No, you keep it in it so you have it on your shelf so you can organize it. You know, looking at that art with my VHSs, I'm like, it was just like a unity of love, of concept art. Over time, there was another Duke Nukem game called Duke Nukem Manhattan Project. And getting that, I kept on felt like I was working backwards. Like, I'm really happy that I got another Duke Nukem game and it's a side scroller, something different. I really want another fucking first-person game of Duke Nukem, which never happened for a long time, obviously. As handhelds continued, I got a Nintendo DS, and I know they were making a trilogy, and so eventually it came out as Duke Nukem Critical Mass on the DS, and I was really happy to get that. I don't think it was a big seller, and it was good. I mean, they tried to play around and make another side-scroller kind of like Duke Nukem Manhattan Project, but this one felt, again, stiff, and the animations were clunky. It felt awkward, and it felt like they needed like another 6 months easily on development, which I can't blame them because they were probably under time constraints. I was really hoping to get the PSP version because I did buy a PSP and I wanted to get that one as well, but that was also canceled. So it wasn't until like a little while ago where Duke Nukem Manhattan Project was released on Xbox 360. Playing it again now, like in a different kind of perspective, I had much more appreciation towards it because I wasn't bitter for not getting the game I wanted. And that seemed to happen for a long time with Duke Nukem over the years. I can't say much about it because like even playing it now, I'm like, it's a really cool game, but I just wanted a first-person Duke Nukem. It's sad. It's sad. I'm not trying to be like, you know, closed off and closed-minded about this of like different kind of Duke Nukem games, and that's totally cool. It just hurts him like every time it comes out with another Duke Nukem. It's a side scroller. It's a third person, and I'm like, it's exhausting. I want the first person one. Give me the first person.
I need that. Give it to me.
Because I wanted first person Duke Nukem all the time, something else did come out in my youth. It's called Sirius Sam, and it was a budget title, which is again perfect for me as a kid, with a back-talking buff dude with shades shooting aliens and shit. I'm like, is this a parody of Duke Nukem? Like, Duke Nukem's already a parody, and then you get another parody of Duke Nukem. I'm like, you know what? I'm into this. And I remember playing it with my good buddy Matt. The best part about that was it was co-op. 2 players can go at it, monster kill, with stupid one-liners.
Yourself.
I'm like, this is great. This is fucking great. Like, and it wasn't Duke Nukem, but this settled my urges for a while when it came out. And in the background, one of the cinematics, you can see Duke is not dead. I cannot tell you how fucking excited it was. I felt like I was reading some sort of an encrypted key in a video game. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I hope he's not dead. I really hope he is not dead. Because I miss him. I miss him a lot. And I feel like his like weird cousin came over just to kind of calm me. I'm like, he's not dying of cancer. Come play in my world for a little bit until he gets back on his feet. I'm like, okay, Sirius Sam.
We interrupt this broadcast for a special news bulletin. In his speech on Thursday, the president said he remains cautious but optimistic regarding the recent alien visitation. He urged all citizens to avoid taking any actions that may seem aggressive, such as discharging firearms or making lewd gestures.
Fuck yeah, I'm back, baby.
And then eventually, Duke Nukem Forever finally saw the light of day. Everybody was super excited at first, and then reviews came in. It got bashed. It got annihilated. So many bad reviews. I remember going to the store and saying, like, I don't care if it's bad. I just don't. I want to see it. I've been waiting for so long. I just want to see it. And to me, like, buying it was like, it's a special moment to see how a friend was doing after all these years. Like, how you been, man? I know you've been going through some rough patches, and I know it hasn't been easy for you. And I looked at it that perspective. And playing the game, I liked it. And I honestly did. I actually did like it. I probably liked Duke Nukem Forever a lot more than, you know, a lot of his other spin-offs. Watching it and playing it and seeing you can see a lot of inspiration of games that were coming out. And it's like walking through a time capsule through this whole game. It's kind of interesting to see where Duke has been and trying through all these years. Look at the game as a person. You know, like, obviously a person's not going to be perfect. It's going to be problems. There's going to be little dark corners. There's going to be some sadness and some good moments in that person. Looking at what a team tried to accomplish over the course of those years, you can almost feel the struggle, the anxiety, and the worry when releasing something. It's about that with like almost anything, a piece of media like a film or a video game or a work of art. You're always worried about not being perfect or good enough for the world, and it's scary. And seeing an old friend come back, it was great. It warmed me.
Hell, I'd still hit it.
I started a channel with my close friend, Josh Parnicle, and we had this idea called Price Challenge. And we started taking on the road a little bit.
So we're back with round 4 in the bathroom.
I don't use the toilet very often in real places.
Really sad.
Shoes are okay. The leaves are free.
Gee.
And then we went to a video game conference, Midwest Gaming Classics.
Say, Mom, I left the house.
I found out a little later on that John St. John was going to be there.
Dude, it's freaking John St. John.
I can't even explain how excited I was.
I'm geeking out pretty hard.
He seems pretty excited.
I'm really excited. Dude, I've been waiting to meet you for such a long time.
Really?
Such a long time.
I bet you haven't been waiting as long as I've been waiting to meet you.
Maybe?
10 years?
No, longer.
12 years?
Longer.
14?
Probably about that.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I could be your daddy.
Do you want to?
Well, I mean.
I didn't know what kind of person he was. And you always have that feeling, you never meet your heroes. I've always wanted to be a voice actor after, like, hearing Duke Nukem.
John, I'm getting like a schoolgirl right now.
Are you
No
really?
idea. Yes.
Oh,
Like,
wow. Are your
plain-
nipples hard?
Oh,
They are.
No, they're pierced though, see?
Oh, that's why.
And I've always had that pedestal of, like, I gotta be like John St. John. I gotta be like Big the Cat.
I don't care. Oh!
He's going to slap me around at some point.
I'm gonna
I just
hit
know
this.
it.
There's gonna be a lawsuit. pretty soon,
Spank
okay?
me.
Oh,
Oh.
I slapped John St. John's ass.
I had the time of my life with that guy for 10 minutes.
The name's Duke Nukem. I don't watch Price Challenge. I appear on it, but I don't watch it.
I don't think he knows how much that meant to me. Like, Duke Nukem as a character has inspired me to do wonderful things and make and create all different kinds of forms of content. Duke Nukem was a point of something special, and I got to meet one of those points in my life. You know, it's nice understanding some of your past, of where things start, and then working back again. And it's like kind of finding yourself. To pick like one point in your past and go, what did you do? How did you shape me? So, to the staff and everybody who worked on any Duke Nukem game throughout the whole timeline, thank you. I mean it. Thank you.